Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to 21, the age of majority, and we search for another voice. I'm Ejaz Hussain, and thank you for spending a few minutes with me to hear my thoughts on how do we search for another voice. Why are we drawn to a voice? In business, we talk about voice of customers. In manufacturing, we talk about voice of a process. FDA talks about one quality voice. What is it in the voice that attracts us? It's the timbre and harmony that resonates with us. As professionals in the healthcare system, we are expected to hear the voice of patients. It took the year 2020 to see clearly now that we all are patients. Profiteers profit from patience. Some profiteers who learn to be patient become a professional. Some professionals who commit to good practices become a practitioner. So, what is it in the voice that attracts us? As professionals in the pharmaceutical sector, we are required by law to be suitable and capable for the jobs we do. Suitable and capable of being responsible. We are expected to validate our processes. We are expected to monitor our processes such that we continuously verify their suitability and capability. We must commit to pharmacovigilance. We commit to correcting and preventing errors that occur. And we commit to continual improvement. As above, so below in an organization, these commitments hold true. What we often do not appreciate is what we are required as a professional, what we are trained to do as a professional are the same concepts, the same procedures that also occur in our mind that can be the basis for us being good practitioners. So the timbre and harmony of our voice is in the heart of what we do. We are born, we grow up, we are educated, we work, we retire, and we die in a socio-technical system. The maturity of a socio-technical system, any socio-technical system, whether it's the regulatory system, the political system, the legislative system, the quality management system, whatever it may be, our maturity determines the maturity of any socio-technical system. The only way to improve and mature a socio-technical system is to mature ourselves. Plan, do, check, and act, the process in the material world easily translates to a process in our mind that allows us to observe, imagine, think with knowing how do we know what we know so that we can verbalize our voice for the right reasons, for the right objectives. Quality by design, the guideline in ICHQ 8, for example, brings in these concepts. Design space, Procrustean epistemological, where my insistence during those negotiations at ICH, so that we not only have a theory of knowledge, we improve our knowledge of variation, but we appreciate systems and we understand the psychology of change. The psychology of adult human development recognizes that the stages of adult human development can go from first order impulse control, second order consciousness, where we become imperialists, to third order consciousness, where we are socialized, and the fourth order consciousness, where we are self authored, and the fifth order consciousness, where we have our self transforming mind. As professionals responsible for compliance with standard operating procedures, we are expected, required to be self-authored. How many of you or how many of us can self-author our own SOP that we use on a day-to-day basis? Self-authorship is a necessary minimal step to be a professional. In any organization, you have highly educated people from doctorate level to bachelor levels, and yet you see the order of consciousness of an organization can be very low. Why is that? Why are most organizations dependent on a consultant, a GMP consultant, to write their SOPs or policies? Why can't they be self-authored? Is an important question that we want to think about. We are expected to be driven by first principle, do no harm, and have the right education, training, and experience for every level of our job. At every level of an organizational hierarchy, we should be able to be self-authored at that level. And our ability to be self-authored at the next level determines our career growth and our development. So in that sense, I think it is very useful to think about good practices in a very simple model which allows us to gauge where we are. So impulsive, if we are unable to control our impulses, that means we are procrastinating. If we are selfish, we only want to look good, we are imperialist. If we are socialized, tell me what to do, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do anything different, being good. That's socialized. Self-authored is knowing, being internally validated to doing good for the patient, for the first principle. And self-transforming is seeing good. Order of consciousness is very easy to think about. If your order of consciousness is the size of a golf ball, you will only see or understand some things which are very, very small, closely related. But if your order of consciousness is larger, you can see and collect all the dots that are relevant and do the connecting the dots to see the patterns. So simply here, the words that are listed here, your order of consciousness determines what you are. Many of us go through an education system which is a servile education system. We are trained to be compliant. We are not trained to be critical thinkers. The elite schools provide a basis for free thinking education. Much of our education is you pass an exam, you expect, you vomit, you memorize and vomit what is expected by your teacher, and you get your degree. You don't develop your self-thinking skills, your skills for critical thinking, and that is necessary to be creative and to be able to solve problems and to be able to be self-authored. So if you know this, I'm sharing a picture of myself with my parents and some friends of ours in Babylon when I was 7 years old. If I knew then that these are the stages of order of consciousness, I can measure it, I would have expanded my order of consciousness much, much faster and higher levels. But now I do know that, and I know in the process to validate, to be self-validated. And I am offering you to think about this as an important step to be self-validated, to be self-authored. I propose to you, being self-authored, being a critical thinker is your ticket to success and to satisfaction, to a meaningful life. Thank you for listening. Listen to your heart. Let your heart guide you. It whispers, so listen closely. That is the path forward to first principles, to be self validated, to be self authored, to be self transforming. I wish you a very happy new year, a meaningful year, a successful year of 21, the age of majority in a very interesting sense. Thank you for listening.